What's up, YouTube? It's time for another episode analyze and review, or is it? You see, guys, normally we'd be analyzing and reviewing episode 21 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, but it's another one of those episodes where we go back and look at the previous load of episodes, and I'm like, oh, I really hate it when TV programs do that, especially when it's like 4 to 5 episodes ago. I know Vrains gives us a lot of information. They really go in depth with their storylines and their episodes, but still, it doesn't need it just yet. I know they're trying to like split it up into chapters, but still, I'm not a big fan. But instead, guys, I thought let's actually do our own. Let's go back between episode 1 and to the current one, which is episode 21. Talk about the characters, the storyline, and how much Link monsters have changed the game as we see it so far, and see what happens. So yeah, guys, why don't we start off taking a look at each individual character, talk about them, and yeah, but just pretty much how much I like them, and see and predictions for them. Starting off, of course, with our main character, Yusaku, and its alternate personality within Link Vrains, Player Maker. Of course, now, because of the recent episodes, we learned about his past. We learned that about 10 years ago, so back when he was probably a single-digit age, or just starting his double-digit ages, around 10, maybe a little bit higher, since he's now in secondary or high school, when he said 10 years ago, that he was involved in a kidnapping and from a higher boss within Soltech, forcing them to duel non-stop for about months on end, or about 3 years. I can't remember off the top of my head, guys, but it's been a long time. Only giving them food, drink, depending upon the quality of the dueling. And after he was saved, he was still messed up. He could not have his life back to the way it was. He felt like he just could not cope with society as it is, and he saw the only way he can really fight back was by grabbing his cards and getting the answers, not only for him but for all the people out there, including his friend, which he thinks, but we know is a program that's been created from the hatred of them, or the pain of them. It's still out there and needs to be saved. Which now brings us up to the current point where he's battling the Knights of Halloween, and because he battled a knight that nearly destroyed Vrains saying complete pandemonium, Playmaker battled and beaten. He's become famous. But he still got his goal instead of letting it go to his head. But since then, he's been battling a lot of hard opponents such as the Blue Angel and Goals Imiku. He's been battling Ghost Girl, he's battled Revolver, he's battled Zaizen, and he's still on his goal for answers. This character is a one-driven character. To honestly, when I first saw him, capturing I without an emotionless thought, and basically using what he can to his advantage to claim his answers. But further along the lines, guys, we did start to really enjoy this character. We learned that it's not just for revenge for himself, it's revenge for all the people out there. Like his partner Kozaki, his brother, who's, as far as we can tell within the flashes, he's put himself in like an insane asylum or something just so he's protected. He's doing it to help not only him get out there, get the peace he needs, to protect the people so they can get a bit of closure, so he can get closure, and so he can able to find a hidden friend. He uses a cyber deck, which apparently within Vrains is an extinct deck. And alongside I's powers to access the data storm to enter more Link monsters, he can become a very powerful duelist, although surprisingly most of his main monsters will probably come from his extra deck, all his main powerful monsters, so any cards that can stop him using the extra deck would probably stop him using it, because at the moment he hasn't got that many powerful monsters in his main deck. But anyway guys, on with the character. Yusaku / Maker is a very interesting character. I'm glad to see over a while we didn't get to see him just be revenge driven. We saw a little bit more of him open up, and we saw that even when he's dueling for something serious for himself, he can be hearted enough to do something special. Like when he dueled Akari Aizen and took out Team Dial Angel and Team Dial Angel from the graveyard back to the hand, just because those cards were protecting each other and it seemed wrong to have them both in the graveyard. Honestly, that much is sweetness, and I'm pretty sure further down the line we'll probably see him be a little more sweet to even though he's being half-hearted, you'll probably see a little bit more of a free will, and he'll probably open up a bit more, but at the moment he's still treating I like an emotionless tool. I hope to see very well on down he at least opens up a little bit more. True, at the moment he can't see himself open up. He probably won't get himself to open up because he's that plot driven to go after the information. But even though we might not see that until like episode 100 or so, because I predict it's going to be like a very long time before we see him really show us some emotion like other than anger or rage. Well, at least we got to see him be nice and at least be hearted about everything. That's what I liked so much so far with Playmaker. We'll now go on to Kazaki, Yusaku's partner. We haven't got much information about him other than that he's a hacker and he works with the hot dog stand. This is much information we go upon, but later on down the line we learn why he joined forces with Yusaku. Basically, he chooses to fight alongside Yusaku to help him out, to help his little brother, or big brother, or just brother in general, who was one of the victims that happened 10 years ago, happened during the Haori project, and he's completely broken-minded. Because of all this that's happening to his brother, he wants to help Yusaku get the information of the past to at least give his brother some closure and to at least end the project once and for all before any other victims are taken and punished, or tortured I should actually say, just as Yusaku and his brother did. Next we have or as his species is called, Ignis. Can we really call him a species? Anyway, is an artificial intelligence with free will, meaning that this character literally can speak for itself, it can think for itself, it can do things on its own, but it's trapped within Yusaku's dual disk. We've seen full well that this character has will of its own. We've seen it interact with, I'm guessing, the assistant or cleaning robot that Yusaku has. It has talked to other characters. It's talked to Yusaku. How does Yusaku not really see that this is more than just an artificial intelligence? This is just more than an average AI. This character clearly, though, has more history to it and has much more bigger role to play. Because we know it's got something to do with Cyverse. It got affected by the Fire Prison field spell that Revolver used during that duel with Playmaker. So we know it's something linked to the Cyverse. All we got to go on was that clip at the beginning where it was running away from Kraken Dragon and had his body teared to shreds while his comrades were still trapped. But one also thing I may as well mention, guys, he can't return to that place. Because the other Ignis mentions that he's going to do that even though he cannot return. So I'm guessing that means at the end of this he's either stuck with Playmaker or he can actually go off to his home and Playmaker is now all on his own again. Although I really hope at the end I stays with Playmaker. Aoi's Aizen and Blue Angel, the beauties of the Vrains. Just as we had Taya, Alexis, Akiza, Tori, and I want to say user, but I really don't think I count user because she then disappeared. We had Serena, then she disappeared. We didn't have like what we could call beauties in the life, but Always Eyes and Blue Angel, I think, are the beauties of the girl. And what makes these characters so outstanding than to all the rest is she's actually a very powerful duelist. With using a Trickstar deck which focuses on burning, being an entertainer duelist better than Yuma ever was with an Arc 5, she is a very powerful duelist with a very passionate motivation to impress her brother, her stepbrother. But she later on down the line realised that he was doing the same for her, but protecting her, doing everything he can just to give her a happy life, because he doesn't want them to go back to the way they were on the streets, trying to do everything they can. I think now, because of the incident that's recently taken place within the Soltech databanks, watching her brother, dual player maker, spilling both their hearts out, learning about player maker's past, I think those two are now going to be making a pretty strong connection. I think we're going to see more Blue Angel because I think in future episodes, she'll see player maker fighting with all his might see him in danger and choose to jump in, save the day, and tell that if you ever need me, just give me a call, I'll be there no matter what. Even though player maker might refuse to do it, I still think she's going to be ended up doing something like that. I can feel it in my gut, guys, that something like that might happen. It really seems like something that might happen with Vrains. I see Blue Angel going in to save the day. Who knows, maybe she'll put two and two together and realise Yusaku's player maker the entire time and she actually knew who she was. Or he was. Why did I call Yusaku she? I don't know. I definitely know it's not going to happen instantly. It's going to be taken over time because Vrains is taking its time, and I'm loving the fact that it's taking its time. And I'm loving the fact that even though she got out of hospital and still needed recovery, she chose to enter Link Vrains to help player maker out. Even though at first it was probably to dual player maker, just to see if she can recover fully. Or maybe that wasn't her option at all. Maybe it was Ghost Girl's plan to just get her. I don't know. But I'm glad to see that this version's girl is awesome, beautiful, very powerful, a great duelist, and I really can't wait to see more of this character develop. Go Mizuku, we haven't really seen him since episode 3 and 4. Probably 5, I can't fully remember. But this character has been confirmed to be in the next episode, 22, being a usual, typical character that we learnt in those few episodes. He was a guy who lived in an orphanage his entire life, and he's aimed to be that high as an inspiration for those kids in the orphan area, which is honestly a beautiful story itself. Having a character like that within the storyline shows that we've got more than just... The heroes can be done in many different forms. They can come from anywhere, whether they're being orphaned and to survive from home, whether there's someone who's disappeared and reappeared but during their disappearing time been tortured all their life, or someone who's just been doing everything they can to impress one person that's been near and dear to them. This series is all full of heroes, and I'm hoping that I'm right with saying the entire Vrains series is showing heroes in many different forms. That's one of the things I like. And heck, even his dueling style, which he uses those, I really can't think of the name, I'll leave it somewhere if I can still find a guy, because again, no internet, or an image of one of their cards so you guys can know what I'm talking about. His duel style is to make it look as his opponent strong and then turn the tables. Because again, the hero always fights back when it gets dark. That's his dual intention, and again it fits him just as well because he's that dual style, because he's an actual hero to those kids and he will never give up. So long as he gives those kids hope, he will never stop losing. Akari Zaizen, we covered him a little bit when we went over to Blue Angel, are we? But again, he's a character on his own, a character that's gone from the depths of losing his parents, fighting with all his might to protect his sister, using his hacking skills to the best of his ability, reaching all the way up to Soltech, and we got to see his more character in depth. At first we saw him as a potential enemy to Playmaker because of the potential threat he possesses, but later on learned that Playmaker was actually a victim. He then turned around and asked Playmaker to not fight against, just because of what he grew up with. Now that again is another true hero. He doesn't want anyone to face even something close to the despair that him and Al will face. Even though Playmaker is already in that despair and he's so plot driven to try and take him out, Akari just doesn't want him to go even further into despair, because there's no telling what will happen. It could cause a massive effect that could destroy the entire Vrains system. He doesn't want Playmaker to suffer anymore. He just wants them to live a happy life. True, he may have touched a nerve when he said that, because he never knew that Yusaku tried but failed because he could never live a normal life again just on the event. It just shows how much that guy is a hero and how much he's determined to even protect people he doesn't even know, just as long as he knows where they're coming from. Akari Zaisen is honestly a true character, and again I hope to see him a little bit more. I predict he'll continue searching into it and maybe trying to find a way to get Playmaker this information, but judging by the way that Playmaker has done things so far going after Night Owl, he might beat him to the punch. But I'll be surprised that later on in the episode, like, Akari adds some information to it, but before he gets to Playmaker, he'll probably do like a "we need to talk." He wants to be part of the team. He knows he can't stop him, but he wants to be part of the team. He wants to know who Playmaker is. This will probably be around the end of the series or around the middle of the series, because I do imagine it's going to be around there where Playmaker's identity is revealed to a few. But I really do see Akari doing something like that to get him a really solid spot within the main characters. Emma or Ghost Girl? Honestly, at the beginning, guys, I did not like the name Ghost Girl, because honestly, when you hear Ghost Girl, it sounded like either a sidekick name or just basically someone who's young. But honestly, over time, it did manage to sink in with the whole Ghost Girl thing. Because she is a spy, she's a data treasurer or data pirate, something like that. Someone who goes hunting for information and disappears like a ghost. It honestly fits the bill, and her skills have been very impressive throughout the entire series. I do not really predict her going further in the storyline, because her main plot so far has been over. She's been assistant to Zaisen, hunting for Playmaker, gathering information. I really don't see how much she will continue, but she says herself that she's got a copy of this information. We saw her get a copy and talk about it, so maybe she will further look into this. Maybe she will still join up with Zaisen and continue searching for some information, or maybe hunt in the shadows for some information, or go back to her regular style. Or maybe she continues going back to her regular style, but then get calls to help Playmaker. I do not know, but honestly, I love Ghost Girl. I love her deck style, especially when it can like really back people up into a corner. I've forgotten the name of it, but I'll leave a card up and the name if I've still got the name. A deck is interesting. I might actually use it myself if it wasn't that confusing. But Ghost Girl's character, I see it's developed into a great character, and I really hope to see if there's something more further along down the line with this one. Revolver at the moment is one of the main bad guys that we have to deal with. As far as we know, he's the main leader of the Knights of Hawaii. This guy is pretty powerful. He's got the same skill as Playmaker Storm Access, which got him the Tribonic Bomber Dragon, the only Cyberse monster he has, and I'm pretty sure it might be the only time he's used it, even though it's been that powerful. We know his true powerful monster is that dragon with a revolver on his neck. I really did not write that name down, I'm sorry guys, but I've got an image, I'll pull it up, and if I've got the name, there it is. We know his deck style is to try and bust out that Xyz monster and to instantly mess up the opponent's field. We do know he has some other spell cards which can also destroy, which has the ability to add draw more cards. Not to mention, guys, he's got also Cracking Dragon. That spell card that lets him bring out 2 tokens and summon tokens to the opponent's field. As in Cracking Dragon, that's a complete bombshell of a strategy. I honestly ever used that strategy before, and it's pretty powerful. I use it way too often. Revolver is a powerful duelist, and I'm pretty sure he's been linked to the Hawaii project because he reacted when Player Maker mentioned that it was an event 10 years ago. Does this mean he's the program that that was made during the Hawaii project? I do not know, because he's been calling Dr. Kawagi Dad. So maybe he is, or maybe he isn't, but I really don't see him being the program. Although with his eyes, it really does make it feel like he is a program. But as we saw when Player Maker's flashback, the program was turning into an eyeball. So maybe, I don't know. Or maybe the mask is concealing the eyes. But Revolver is definitely a huge bad guy, and I predict a powerful duel coming up. Maybe we'll get to see Revolver's true power released. The Knights of Hawaii characters are a bit difficult to analyse. All that we know is that they're soldiers. Alongside Revolver, they go around dueling people and they collect information. One of them was willing Cracking Dragon and completely demolish Vrains itself. It sent Blue Angel running. We don't even know what happened to Golden Izuku at the time, but it is a pretty strong duelist. I would probably have to say soldier class at least, like the Obelisk force within Arc 5. We do see them come back again, which confirms they are programs. They're artificial program duelists, like with the AI duelists that we saw Soltech use, but a little more advanced. Ones that actually have intelligence. Maybe these orange-headed ones, instead of the green-headed ones that we started off with during the first few episodes, are more powerful soldiers, like elite class. So this will probably be actually an interesting thing next episode, but will they have just as powerful cards, like with Cracking Dragon, or will they have their own decks, like we saw with the robotic duelists in 5Ds? Will they all, like when those robots use the Ally of Justice cards, will these guys have their own set of cards to be used, or will they all each use separate decks? This is one of the things they really gotta think about in detail. Honestly, I prefer if they all use the same deck, so it's all not confusing. We can not say like, oh, the Knights of Hawaii used Geminis and this one used Cybers. Just don't make it that confusing. I'd probably actually prefer it if they use Cybers. Something a little different. Throw in an Xyz or Fusion user there. Something shocking for them. Make it Xyz, so that way we're still focusing on monsters that don't have levels. I mean, Link monsters don't have levels. Xyz don't have levels. They have ranks. Make it interesting. Make it different. And finally, guys, we're going to focus on the mysterious man, Dr. Kaogi, which we recently learned is dead. So this guy is honestly a head scratcher. We learned that recently he's dead, but behind the scenes we saw his body being hooked up to this machine, so maybe he's not dead. Maybe this machine is keeping his body alive, but his consciousness is within Link Vrains, and because of this, that's why he's been able to keep track of Knights of Hawaii. But we don't know his main objective. We learned through Revolver that the Hawaii project's always been to destroy Vrains, but why? What's the purpose of destroying it? Well, whatever the purpose is, we're going to be seeing it very soon. We saw them plant the seed of destruction, quote unquote, into this vortex, into this deep bottomless pit. It's charging. So I predict their plan is going to be set in motion anytime soon. So hopefully, guys, it's not going to be too shocking. So yeah, guys, let's look at the characters. Those are like the main characters I saw that we need to keep an eye on in the future. And honestly, guys, let's go into the storyline. But honestly, I don't know where to begin. The storyline is pretty much intense. We're basically following Player Maker going for his revenge. along the way we also see these characters which are then eventually linked and are either interested in helping Playmaker, want to duel Playmaker to get back their reputation, to try and stop him, or just pretty much just in it for the crap. Vrains has been an interesting storyline from start to now, and I really can't wait to see what happens next. We know that in the next episode that the Knights of Hallway start their attack. Maybe this next episode and further ones, not only do we see Playmaker take action, but we see a few more duelists take action, following Playmaker's lead to protect Link Vrains. And because of that, maybe Playmaker can go around collecting information even better. But I really don't see that happening. I say like Playmaker go into action, he's been pushed into a corner, and Blue Angel, Go Onizuku jump in to help him out in any way they can, and that starts their three-way friendship. That's my prediction of what's going to happen, guys, because honestly, at the moment with the storyline, we haven't got really any friendships happening. I mean, the only friendships that we've seen so far are Go Onizuku with the people in the orphanarium. We see the Zaizen brother and sisters getting along even closer, but that's brother and sister, not friendship. Yusaku with Kuraki, but they're more like partners and slowly turn to friends. I think this is the only series so far that we haven't got like any full-blown friendships. This is honestly a first for Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, the original series, there was full-blown friendship speeches everywhere. In GX we had a school and people were getting along, being friends. In 5Ds we had the signers coming together, being friends with each other and helping each other grow. Within Zexal, again, Yuma getting more friends, becoming stronger and bonding with Astral, and eventually getting Tori as a girlfriend. Ooh! Within Arc 5, we see Yuma running to save his beloved childhood friend, and people again coming closer, building bonds. Yu-Gi-Oh! What's happened? Are you giving up on the friendship thing and going for actual plot storyline? This is actually pretty surprising. Hopefully they don't muck it up and like instantly turn around to go, friendship time, let's all be friends. That might actually be a bit fair. I like how they're going, but if they're going to bring friendship in, they need to ease it in. Otherwise the entire series might blow up in their faces, and we don't want that to happen, do we, guys? Finally, guys, let's talk about Link monsters and what they've done so far. First of all, guys, we've mostly learnt about Link monsters beforehand because they showed us how to use them with a little bit more information. But most of us also learned how to use Link monsters and adapt them while going through the episodes. And I think the introduction to Link monsters is pretty interesting. Link monsters are pretty much now a easy, understandable play thing to do. We got the arrows on the cards, they're all glowing. It's pretty much standard knowledge now that we need monsters equal up to the arrowheads that are glowing. Or if we use another Link monster to another one, we can add on the arrows it already has to that Link monster. Not to mention, we're basically playing now Connect the Dots with Link monsters, which has honestly been pretty fun. I've actually not seen a Link user that's actually attempted to connect the dots and nick both the extra deck monster zones. I have not seen that yet, and I haven't even tried it myself. Link monsters actually getting pretty easy to fund now. I know a lot of people have been saying that Link monsters are going to destroy the game, but at the moment with the way things are going, I actually see it being a nice little easy fit in with the game. Really. Just because of all the connect the dots thing. I'm still a little bit against the extra monster zone because of the all Pendulum, XC, Synchro, Fusion usage, really, because there was a lot of decks back in the day that could swamp the field with that, but I guess it had to be done with the whole because it needed to be balanced. But again, Link monsters are now much more fun to play with, and I honestly can't wait to see where Link monsters get to go. Will we get like what Xyz got and got rank up? Will we get what Synchro use and get like Accel Synchro when we Synchro summon on the opponent's field? Will we get an evolution with like Pendulum, allowing Pendulum summoning to help us go into Xyz Synchro or Fusion? Will Fusion evolve, allowing us to fuse in multiple different locations? How will Link monsters evolve? And this is one of the things that really gets me thinking. I know it might be a bit too early to see how Link monsters will evolve. Maybe they've already evolved with the Link monsters going into other Link monsters. But honestly, if that's in the evolution, I'm happy with that. But I can't wait to see the evolution that Link monsters will take and how much it will affect the game. I think it's way too early to think about the next monster, so at the moment let's keep focusing on the Links. And that's it guys for our look back between episode 1 to 21. I hope you have enjoyed our little chit chat with us guys. Let me know what you think of your of the storyline and just all know what you think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains at the moment in the comments section below. Let's get chit chatting about this. Let me know what your favourite character is. I haven't honestly got a favourite character of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains at the moment, but I'm really teaming towards our Blue Angel, just because. But yeah guys, that is it for this video. I'm now gonna go rewatch the entire Vrains series. I've psyched myself up to watch them again. So until next time guys, this is me signing out.